Well, hello to you. You know, a while ago I was having something to eat and I turned on the TV just for some noise, and there was a movie on there. It came out in 1987, I think it was, that Dirty Dancing with Aaron Gray and that good-looking actor that was in Roadhouse and that Dirty Dancing. He was in a bunch of stuff. Died way too young, but I was watching and got to paying attention to the class symbolism that was in there. Doctor, he was well-to-do, and his daughters and wife. The waiters in that place that the guy hired in that place, that hotel, were from Harvard and Yale. They were students in Harvard and Yale. And now the dancers and the kids that worked regular, I guess they were the kitchen help, and they worked cleaning the rooms and everything. And the hero in that movie was a dancer with a gal that had been a rockette. Well, there was some real class struggles going on, and they weren't too proud to talk about it a little bit. And I watched that. I enjoyed that movie. I've seen it 3 or 4 times. But then, just after that, I went and I got it was having inclement weather. It was raining. I went and got my phone and I got in and was looking at my Facebook. Well, I always go in and I look to see what kind of notices I got first, and then I go and see what's on the market deal. And then I go to the videos. And I popped up that video, and the first thing that popped up was a song, One Tin Soldier by Coven. That was a group out of the 60s, early 70s, I guess. And it had a short thing, pictures of Tom Laughlin that played Billy Jack and was behind most of those 3 or 4 movies. But that One Tin Soldier, the words in there goes along. The chorus to that song is, go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you can justify it in the end. When that trumpet blowing, something about when the victor's over, I forget. One tin soldier rides away. There won't be any trumpets blowing on that judgment day. And the bloody morning after, one tin soldier rides away. Well, now that movie particular, Billy Jack, was basically about Native Americans, the Indians, and the people around, other things. And so it was a class thing. And I got to thinking about that. This whole deal we got now going on, what's going on with that Democrats and Republicans, and what's going on. It's not about the people. It's all about wealth and power and achieving a goal of making a one world government, apparently. And so the theme hasn't changed. And I talk about good and evil, and I talk about people that are kind and generous and loving and keep from feed. When they see somebody that's hungry, they give them a meal and try to help them out. And when they see somebody that their clothes is worn out, they'll get them some clothes and help them try to get on their feet again. Well, this whole homeless situation, that's a class thing. Now, there are victims, a lot of them. Not all of them, because some of them are just bums. They don't want to work. They don't want to do nothing except take drugs or drink wine or whatever and just be a public nuisance. But there are women with a couple of kids, there are men and wives, there are different kinds of people all over the United States in this homeless stuff. Well, it's turned into a class system, class warfare. You know, now, a lot of them homeless people are that way because of all the rules and regulations and the money and, oh, we got to make this so much profit. Well, there's like them people that move in and they call it, oh, it used to be, dang, it's old. I get old and I forget some of the words I want to talk about. But they go squatting in somebody's house. They find a house somewhere and nobody's in. They'll squat in it. Well, you know, they've corrupted that whole thing of squatting. I don't know. Because that was for when there was land out there that was in the public domain, you know, because all the land was owned by the legal citizen taxpayers of the United States and of each particular state. No matter what the crooks and the politicians and that have corrupted things with, the government don't own anything except what they bought according to Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. What they bought from the states. Not what they kept back when they made a state. That's a fallacy. So you see, there's a lot of problems there. Now that squatting was when there was a public land that was owned by the citizens. People could go there and they could set up, they could start to make improvements, they could build a house sometime, didn't matter whether it was a sod house or log house or rock house, what it was, and they could make improvements to that piece of land. Well, if they did all that after a certain period of time, they could have ownership of that piece of land. Now, that's squatting. Now, this stuff that these people now, these some of these do-gooders, bleeding hearts, and socialists, they're actually criminals, but they made laws that made squatting so that the homeowner, the owner of the property, doesn't have any rights when it comes to people just moving in and being squatting there. Well, that's not right. If somebody owns a piece of property, whether it's for investment or what purposes, or just waiting for somebody to come along and rent it or whatever, it belongs to that person. I don't care if it's a corporation, a bank, an individual, anything. It don't belong to them people that move in and squat. So the law ought to be in their favor. Just kick their butt out. No, that ain't the way. You can't do that. But they made it so regulated, and so you go down and people get in a bad way, and they go down and try to get help, and it's so confusing, and people, them bureaucrats in the different offices that are supposed to be helping people, they don't want to be bothered with them people. Well, here, fill out these papers, do this, do that. No, don't bother me now. I gotta go on break. See, that's the thing that's turned wrong with the United States of America. Now, and people can yell at me for being Christian, but I believe wholeheartedly in having faith in God. That gives me hope for the future, and because I want to please my God, that gives me a desire to be charitable. Not to be a fool to some of these people that just want to scam you, but to be charitable to people that really need help. You can tell they need something to feed their kid. They need some place to stay. Well, I can't afford to do all that kind of stuff, but there are people that can. And all that money that's been given away to Ukraine is being given away to them criminals in different places. Uh, let's get something going to where we can take care of people who are legal U.S. citizens and would like to be legal U.S. citizens. That's what we need to do. Get rid of that class system that the elites and the rich and the powerful and the greedy have set up. Think about it. I'll be back. And I ask God to bless all of you, no matter what kind of person you are. Think about it.